In residential electrical inspections, particularly concerning dedicated outlets in garages or basements, several key points need to be addressed. It is the inspector's duty to ensure adherence to electrical codes and safety standards. This involves verifying that dedicated outlets are correctly labeled and that equipment is installed and protected properly. In situations where equipment isn't present during the final inspection and electrical plans are absent, specific guidelines apply. Let's consider some common scenarios. In an empty garage equipped with a single plug, in addition to a separate ground fault circuit interrupter receptacle, the contractor verbally informing the inspector that a piece of equipment will be installed later is not sufficient. It is reasonable for the inspector to request the receptacle cover be labeled with the equipment's name. Requiring the receptacle cover to be labeled is a legitimate request to ensure proper use of the outlet and to prevent future confusion. Similarly, in an empty garage featuring a duplex receptacle, in addition to a separate ground fault circuit interrupter receptacle, the same principles apply. The inspector has the authority to request both receptacle covers be labeled with the intended equipment's names. This ensures that future occupants are aware of the intended use of each outlet, particularly if specific equipment is meant to be connected to those outlets. Consider an empty garage containing a duplex receptacle where the required ground fault circuit interrupter protection is loaded off of a basement ground fault circuit interrupter receptacle. In this case, one duplex is protected, but the other is not. Visually, there is no difference between the two plugs. The contractor's verbal assurance about future equipment is inadequate. The inspector can reasonably require that the non-ground fault circuit interrupter receptacle cover be labeled with the intended equipment's name. This labeling is crucial for informing users about the potential hazards associated with the unprotected outlets. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, addresses requirements for dedicated circuits. Although it doesn't explicitly mandate labeling in all situations, the NEC emphasizes the importance of safe and correct electrical installations. Local jurisdictions often have additional requirements that inspectors must enforce. When an outlet is intended for a specific purpose, such as for some pump or a specific appliance, labeling helps prevent misuse. Misuse can lead to overloading circuits or connecting sensitive equipment to unprotected outlets. The purpose of labeling is to ensure that individuals understand the intended use of the electrical outlet, especially in cases where the equipment is not yet installed. This also aids future homeowners or occupants who may not be aware of the original intent of the electrical installation. In cases where a receptacle is not ground fault circuit interrupter protected, but appears identical to a ground fault circuit interrupter protected receptacle, labeling becomes even more critical to prevent accidental use of the unprotected outlet for sensitive equipment. Inspectors have the authority to request labeling to ensure compliance with safety standards and electrical codes. This ensures proper usage and prevents confusion. In an empty garage with a single plug, it is not acceptable for the contractor to only verbally inform the inspector about future equipment. The inspector can request the receptacle cover be labeled with the equipment's name to guarantee the outlet's proper use and avoid future confusion. When dealing with an empty garage that has a duplex receptacle, the same guidelines from the previous scenario apply. Inspectors can request that both receptacle covers be labeled with the intended equipment's name to clarify each outlet's function and ensure electrical safety. If there's an empty garage with a duplex receptacle where the ground fault circuit interrupter is loaded off a basement ground fault circuit interrupter, the contractor's verbal assurance isn't enough. The inspector can require the non-ground fault circuit interrupter receptacle cover to be labeled with the intended equipment's name, alerting users to the risks of the unprotected outlet. Consider an example. Suppose there is a single receptacle in the garage intended for a freezer. During the inspection, the freezer isn't present. It is recommended that the inspector ask the contractor to label the receptacle cover as freezer only. This clarifies the outlet's purpose and prevents someone from plugging in a different appliance that could overload the circuit or be damaged due to voltage fluctuations. Another example involves a duplex receptacle with one outlet ground fault circuit interrupter protected and the other unprotected. The protected outlet is intended for a refrigerator and the unprotected outlet is for a garage door opener. The inspector should ensure that the receptacle covers are labeled accordingly, such as refrigerator ground fault circuit interrupter protected and garage door opener unprotected. This clear labeling is crucial, especially in residential settings, to prevent accidental misuse and ensure the safety of the electrical system. The role of the inspector is to verify compliance with electrical codes and to ensure that the electrical installation is safe for the occupants. Labeling dedicated outlets is a practical and effective way to achieve this, especially when equipment is not present during the final inspection. The labeling of electrical outlets serves multiple purposes. Firstly, it prevents misuse of the outlet by ensuring that only the intended equipment is connected to it. This reduces the risk of overloading the circuit or damaging sensitive equipment. Secondly, it provides clarity for future homeowners or occupants who may not be aware of the original intent of the electrical installation. This can prevent accidental use of the outlet for purposes for which it was not designed. Thirdly, it ensures compliance with electrical codes and safety standards. By requiring labeling, the inspector helps to maintain a safe electrical environment and reduces the risk of electrical hazards. In summary, requiring labeling is a reasonable and necessary step to ensure electrical safety and compliance in residential garages and basements. Inspectors play a crucial role in enforcing these standards to protect the occupants and prevent future electrical problems. To elaborate further on the necessity of labeling dedicated outlets, it is important to understand the context within which electrical inspections occur. Electrical inspections are a critical part of the construction process aimed at ensuring that electrical installations meet the required safety standards and comply with local and national electrical codes. These codes are in place to protect people and property from electrical hazards such as fires, shocks, and electrocution. Inspectors are responsible for verifying that electrical installations are safe and code compliant. When an inspector encounters a situation where an outlet is intended for a specific purpose but the equipment is not yet installed, it creates a potential for future misuse. Without proper labeling, there is no way to ensure that the outlet will be used as intended. This can lead to various problems. Firstly, the outlet may be used to power equipment that is not compatible with the circuit. This could overload the circuit, causing a breaker to trip or, in more serious cases, leading to an electrical fire. Secondly, the outlet may be used to power equipment that requires ground fault circuit interrupter protection, but is not connected to a ground fault circuit interrupter protected circuit. This could increase the risk of electrical shock. Thirdly, the outlet may be used to power equipment that is sensitive to voltage fluctuations or surges. If the outlet is not properly protected, this could damage the equipment. Labeling the outlet addresses these potential problems by providing clear information about the intended use of the outlet. This helps to ensure that the outlet is used safely and correctly. The labeling should be durable and easy to read. It should clearly identify the equipment for which the outlet is intended. For example, if the outlet is intended for a sump pump, the label should read sump pump only. If the outlet is intended for a freezer, the label should read freezer only. If the outlet is intended for a refrigerator, the label should read refrigerator only. In cases where the outlet is ground fault circuit interrupter protected, the label should indicate this. For example, a label could read ground fault circuit interrupter protected for refrigerator only. In cases where one outlet of a duplex receptacle is ground fault circuit interrupter protected and the other is not, the label should clearly indicate which outlet is protected and which is not. For example, the labels could read ground fault circuit interrupter protected outlet and unprotected outlet. The use of clear and informative labels helps to ensure that the outlets are used safely and correctly. In addition to labeling, inspectors should also verify that the outlets are properly installed and wired. This includes ensuring that the wiring is of the correct gauge for the circuit, that the connections are secure, and that the outlet is properly grounded. Inspectors should also check for any signs of damage or wear. Any problems should be corrected before the installation is approved. The combination of proper labeling and thorough inspection helps to ensure that electrical installations are safe and code compliant. This protects people and property from electrical hazards and helps to prevent future problems. Remember, It is not acceptable for the contractor to simply verbally inform the inspector about future equipment. The inspector needs to have documented evidence of the intended use of the outlet. Labeling provides this documentation. It is also important for inspectors to be consistent in their enforcement of labeling requirements. This helps to ensure that all electrical installations are held to the same safety standards. The inspector should not make exceptions or allow contractors to deviate from the labeling requirements. Consistency is key to maintaining a safe electrical environment. In conclusion, requiring labeling of dedicated outlets is a reasonable and necessary step to ensure electrical safety and compliance in residential garages and basements. Inspectors play a crucial role in enforcing these standards to protect the occupants and prevent future electrical problems. By requiring labeling, inspectors help to ensure that electrical outlets are used safely and correctly, reducing the risk of electrical hazards and promoting a safe electrical environment. The NEC provides further guidance on specific requirements for electrical installations. While the NEC doesn't explicitly mandate labeling in all situations, it emphasizes the importance of safe and correct electrical installations. Local jurisdictions often have additional requirements that inspectors must enforce. These local requirements may include specific labeling requirements for dedicated outlets. Inspectors should be familiar with all applicable codes and standards. They should also be aware of any local requirements that may be in place. It is important for inspectors to stay up to date on the latest electrical codes and standards. This can be achieved by attending training courses, reading industry publications, and participating in professional organizations. By staying informed, inspectors can ensure that they are enforcing the latest safety standards and providing the best possible service to their clients. In addition to enforcing labeling requirements, inspectors can also provide valuable advice to homeowners and contractors on electrical safety. This can include providing tips on how to properly use electrical outlets, how to prevent electrical hazards, and how to maintain electrical equipment. Inspectors can also educate homeowners and contractors on the importance of electrical safety and the role that they play in maintaining a safe electrical environment. By providing education and guidance, inspectors can help to promote a culture of electrical safety and reduce the risk of electrical hazards. The combination of enforcement, education, and guidance is essential for maintaining a safe electrical environment in residential garages and basements. Inspectors play a crucial role in this process, ensuring that electrical installations are safe, code compliant, and properly labeled. In addition to the points already discussed, it's important to consider the long-term benefits of proper labeling. Over time, occupants of a home may change, and memories of the original electrical setup can fade. Clear and durable labeling acts as a permanent reminder of the intended use of specific outlets. This can prevent accidental misuse or overloading of circuits, even years after the initial installation. Furthermore, proper labeling can be a significant asset during future electrical work or renovations. When electricians or contractors are working on the electrical system, clear labeling helps them quickly identify the purpose of different outlets and circuits. This can save time, reduce the risk of errors, and ensure that the electrical system is maintained and modified safely. From a liability perspective, proper labeling can also protect homeowners and contractors. If an electrical accident occurs due to misuse of an outlet, clear labeling can demonstrate that reasonable steps were taken to prevent such an incident. This can help to limit liability and protect against potential legal claims. In summary, the benefits of proper labeling extend far beyond the initial inspection. It provides long-term safety, convenience, and protection for homeowners, contractors, and future occupants of the property. For all these reasons, inspectors should prioritize the enforcement of labeling requirements and ensure that electrical installations are properly identified and documented. While verbal assurances from contractors may seem convenient, they are not a substitute for clear, written documentation. Labeling provides the necessary documentation and ensures that the intended use of electrical outlets is clearly communicated. This is essential for maintaining a safe and reliable electrical system. Finally, consider the potential consequences of neglecting proper labeling. A simple mistake, such as plugging the wrong appliance into an unprotected outlet, can have serious consequences. It can lead to electrical shock, fire, or damaged sensitive equipment. By requiring proper labeling, inspectors can help to prevent these types of accidents and protect the safety of the occupants. In conclusion, the importance of proper labeling of dedicated outlets cannot be overstated. It is a critical component of electrical safety and compliance, and inspectors play a vital role in enforcing these requirements. By prioritizing labeling and providing education and guidance, inspectors can help to create a safer electrical environment for everyone.